Good evening, good people, and welcome to yet another race in our Winter Tournament 2025, the Great Chaos Caper. I'm Saracen, joined in the booth by one of my favorite types of pasta, ravioli. How you doing, man?
I'm just doing super. It's great to be here
So
with you.
we got Rubes and GoldenShocker tonight. Rubes up 1-0, and already looking spicy.
Very spicy. Forced
So
black belt start, Yeah, gotta love it.
yeah, we don't get a lot of black belts because they are only available in the forced slot 1, which is a random 3 pick. But our black belt has 20 hit points. Our black mage has hurt undead. That's the other forced. And then our red mage, down at the bottom there, has resist all. Notable things elsewhere, though. The fighter, if there is one found, has improved Thorhammer. The thief has clean magic, which is honestly pretty good sometimes. And our white mage has a who cares plus 10% hit.
Mm-hmm.
But both
Now
of
the
our
clean magic.
runners
Go ahead.
both of our runners opting for that red mage for the resist all up front, which 100% agree.
It's fantastic. The clean magic includes lamp sometimes. Is that correct?
I believe so. And Lamp being able to both remove stun and darkness with the improved darkness flag turned on for these, that's a pretty big deal. Darkness is very common, and it gets spammed in Topher of all places, and it can pretty much wreck your day.
Mm-hmm. And if lamp cures the stun touch, that's fantastic with vanilla touch attacks for these flags.
Absolutely. Now, what I am very curious to see is whether either of our runners chooses to abandon the black belt strats. Because there's a convincing case to be made for fighter strats in these flags. I think there's a less convincing case for thief primary melee, but thief is just very strong generally. The ability to get away from encounters, the lock picking at 22, just generally a good class. So, kind of curious where they go with that. I wouldn't expect to see a white mage picked up. I don't know that I would want the second red mage either. So there's lots of things here. Just not sure what they look like long term.
Yeah, definitely party strategies. If I remember right, these flags are so compelling because you can only recruit in a none place, so you cannot replace current members. Do I have that correct?
That is correct. And
Wow.
our runners are off. Both headed to the item shop immediately. Nothing interesting there. There is a thief in Canaria. Neither runner taking it. Invis 2 notable at level 1 magic. Lit 3. Saber, if they were interested in the ninja, kind of okay. But notably, Invis 2 is learnable for the red mage without promotion. Pro rings for sale in the armor shop. Potentially useful later. I don't know if it'll come into play.
But I believe won't the knight have saber because the magics are reversed promotion
You're
magics? Is that
right.
true?
You're right. That is correct. It's Black Knight and White Ninja
White
are
ninja,
turned on.
yeah.
Which I should really remember. I'm the one who suggested those flags exist.
Those still blow my mind. I still can't wrap my head around them, but they're cool.
GoldenShocker opting to use one of the Lit 3 charges just to pick up some early levels, which I think is useful when you're considering the potential of monster in a boxes here. They are local formations, but sometimes local formations throw you for a loop, and we want the shards. Rube's just going straight for it, though, and Garland is deleting. Adamant and a canal. Well, the adamant is something to do for sure. I still feel like Provoca first. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd like to see what level 2 magic has to offer. And who knows? Maybe Dwarf Cape is chime locked, which is another twist to these flag sets.
From what I understand, that was the experience of our restreamer Mechlin just a little bit ago.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Yeah. Now,
Part of
towns
it,
can be chime locked too? Or
towns
just...
cannot, and Canaria
Towns
Castle
cannot.
cannot.
Towns cannot. Okay.
So part of my calculus on the Provoca play is I want to see if the TNT is there. Just
That's
check
true.
that right off the list, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is the fighter, which Rubes
There's a
immediately
fighter.
gets.
Yeah.
Heal 3, Harm 4, both very good spells. Harm 4 less useful for the Red Mage, but still decent. Picking up Zap and Lock. Lock, very important on these flags as well. We've seen some very high evade Fiendry fights. Both of our runners just holding hands here, which makes sense. And GoldenShocker opting not to pick up any of the black magic.
Zap would come in handy in places like Earth Cave. There's a crown.
Crown is, it's a choice. It exists, I guess.
And they have extended progression to northwest, I think. Is that in this flag? In these flags?
I'm going to have to look that up now.
Okay.
Yes, extended open is turned on, so the walk all the way from Canaria to Elf is possible. So that is kind of the fast routing for the, adamant and crown pieces. The worst feels bad is if you get the ship at the adamant and you're like, well, I have to walk one way or the other.
Yeah.
I still think you go crown first and then follow through. This is a very fast encounter off the hard reset, which is going to be useful later potentially as we see if there are any overworld grinds available.
Mm-hmm. And the River to Melman flag is on. That's pretty spicy too.
Yeah, River to Melmond is... I think it's come up more in this flag set, specifically because the marsh is not incentivized, and so it pushes potential for... Oh, we get a chime. All right. It'd be funny if that was the Northwest Castle blocked, but we'll never know.
Yes, we'll never know.
But with marsh not incentivized, it seems like canoe plays become more common, and here's the ship. Okay.
Lit 3 really pulling weight this early game here. Good spell.
It is one of the top ones in the regular spell list. I have to specify that as I just posted a seed for the Duck Weekly with Spellcrafter turned on.
Yeah, not too many enemies resist lightning, so it makes it pretty useful.
Yeah, it's a very versatile and friendly spell. But with this, we've got ship, we've got canal. We're going to probably check levels 3 and 4 magic and get the heck out of Dodge. GoldenShocker also picking up the ship, having taken out Estos. There's Quad X, there's Warp. very good black magic there.
Definitely.
Life 2 and Cure 4 not learnable. Get wrecked. You know,
That's
and honestly, at
unfortunate.
2,600 gold, I don't know if I want to take the walk because I don't think I can afford anything up there. Silver bracelet +5, actually real good armor.
Definitely.
Fire 3 is alright, I guess, but expensive. And there's life. If I'm prioritizing anything there, it's life, but...
Yeah, the red mage can learn that life, so that's something.
But I think that Rubes opted to take the Fire 3 on the Black Mage because it's going to have the spell charges sooner, and did not, therefore, have the money to pick up the life spell.
Davian says, who needs life magic? Well...
I mean, everybody thinks they don't need it until they do.
That's the truth.
And these flags have life and battle turned on, both life and life 2.
No vendor item yet, so we have we have what, the Crescent Sage, and
Yeah, just the Crescent Sage.
where else? That's it, yeah.
That literally it. Which means
That's
that
it, yeah.
it's going to be something like Rod or Ruby or Canoe, and or I guess Floater, because we have Airboat. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It is the Rod, the darkest timeline. This is where dreams go to die.
Not what you want to see if you're the runner.
I like this play from Rubes of, you know what, I would like some levels and spell charges, please. Yeah. Please and thank you. Also money. Like, I don't really like going into Earth without several resources, and among those is, all my magic and the ability to cast it. Like, major objective going into Earth is I want to get all the way through Lich because the incentive item is all the way down on floor 4.
Yeah, that's a reasonable play. I mean, even generally low-level parties can defeat Lich. There's pretty good magic support, so...
I get a little worried in these flags because of the boss scaling. The boss scaling is pretty aggressive. And that makes Lich, with his vanilla script, kind of a threat still.
Yeah, that's right, vanilla script. But did they buy Zap, I think, in Provoke?
Yeah.
Zap is a pretty good strategy. rubes000, yeah.
So, what really helps here is the Red Mage having Resist All, because the Ice 2 and whatnot is not going to be as painful. But even so, any number of things along the way can still do plenty of bad things. Rube's going to check for Shards of Convenience, which is kind of the play when you're in that area. Earth Cave's chests are just so spread out that you kind of don't want to check them all. Like, you're certainly not going to check Earth TFC unless there's a loose situation, but they're just all so spread out. And Rube's even skipping that one on the right, which, I mean, that chest usually pays out for me. I don't know what it is. It seems like it has an abnormally high preponderance of good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Earth really is the longest dungeon. I mean, at least in vanilla. It certainly feels that way in Randomizer too.
Yeah, and it's not a kind dungeon. Oh, wizards. My favorite. Well, at least they all went down to the lit 3.
Yeah, that was nice. Nice rolls there. Yeah, the Earth cockatrice birds have vanilla stone touch. So yeah, this is no picnic.
Rubes really showing that he has no intention of keeping that black belt around. He is not removing the poison. He is just walking it down.
GoldenShocker not too far behind here.
Yeah,
Right on the heels.
GoldenShocker has been keeping pace very well. Rubes is known for having very solid execution. Menuing, routing, all of that is very solid. And down goes the black belt, and down it will stay.
Looks like this will be a little divergence with a fighter lead for Rubes and probably a black belt lead for GoldenShocker. We'll see.
That's what I would guess
Oh
too.
no!
Oh,
That damage poison?
I
On those
blinked and
rolls,
missed
I
it.
think. Yeah.
There's always one that resists the zap. And the TNT is our incentive item out of Earth. Still on a very linear path. And Rubes is just getting out of dodge. We're going to skip the
Yeah.
lich. I respect it.
I can't blame him. If he ran into those bowls on Lich Floor, he would probably be wiped.
Yeah, so it goes, right? That's just the nature of the randomizer sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like to play, so...
Oh, yes, the lovely stun touch of the undead.
Oh, yeah.
We get the lit 3 out. That should clear up the whole thing. We get a hooray out of Rubes. There's our canoe. That's going to open up some of our options. We now have Volcano, Ice. Well, Ice is not incentivized. Volcano and Ordeals, notable.
Mm-hmm.
And all those tasty river docks.
So where do you go if you were Rube, Saracen? Do you die Volcano or play the pillar game?
I played the pillar game. We got warp, just like Davian's saying in chat.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing to me is if I'm going into Volcano, I want to have the floater first because I don't want to do that rowboating around. It's so long.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
If I've got easy access, which, I mean, look at where Rubes is positioned. We're on the south side. Dropping straight south is going to get you right to Ordeals. This is as accessible as it was ever going to be.
I like to play.
Golden
And it's such a
Shocker,
long walk from the airship. If you choose ordeals later, yeah.
well, we have airboat on, so you can land in the water next to the river.
Oh, that's right. I forget the airboat.
Yeah, airboat's a good time.
Right. And Shocker says, I'm out of here too.
I respect it. Shocker has seen the worst of it. Like,
yeah,
and
smart play.
If I'm in Shocker's position, having seen the bulls being dangerous and knowing that bulls exist in Volcano, I ain't going to Volcano.
Yeah, yeah.
Hot take, if I was in Rube's position, I would have thrown lightning threes at those snakes just for the experience.
Uh-oh.
Well, we know what shard we're not going back for.
They are tough. They are so tough.
Yeah, when you don't have nuke, and you have to actually just kill them through resistances and all of that, it's just no fun.
And I don't think ribbons even protect from the death touch. It's just magic defense, right?
So I have to remember this properly or else Xeno is going to school me. There is a function in the randomizer that gives the death element, but it is, I think when you have it vanilla, it does not protect.
Okay.
He's going for it again. Thank you, Vaughn and CC, for keeping me honest on. Oh, it was the incentive. Herb. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. Random locations.
Oh no.
Ordeals, please.
I know it feels bad in the moment for Rubes, but I mean, you got to remember that your opponent has to struggle with the same thing, and all in all, it's not a terrible time loss, but it does feel bad.
You know, you could see the frustration in the menuing, the lag here as a player of, man, really?
PC says never ordeals.
I get that. I truly do.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I don't think that Volcano is going to be any nicer. We have a very linear seed so far. GoldenShocker coming out better for it than Rubes did. Not losing the first dive. Rubes in for the third. Does GoldenShocker take this chest? Absolutely does. What is this?
All three melees. Oh my.
0 deaths given. That is like the biggest gamble right here, is just like, can you actually get through those? And Shocker is out first. Those 2 wipes on Rube's side basically evening things out entirely and putting GoldenShocker slightly ahead. And nope. Alright, Rubes is out. GoldenShocker gonna give us a taste of this herb. And it is the ruby, which... who knows? Maybe this is where our divergence occurs.
Oh, the ruby will open 2 incentives: Titans, right, and Sarda.
Yep.
So
our runner's basically holding hands at this point. There is no substantive advantage to either one at this point. They're seconds. I think we're going to have to see just how rude Topher decides to be. And whether the fighter is able to pull out the advantage for not having to grind for 6 years versus the black belt being able to just punch through things like they are butter.
yeah, this will be really interesting to see how it plays out.
I will say that Rubes is making better use overall of the encounter manipulation from what I've noticed. You get Crystal out of Titan's Trove.
Well, if that short first encounter, if Shocker finds a T-Rex in desert, that could really speed things.
All right,
the defense sword from Sarda.
We're down to two locations. We've got Volcano and we've got Matoya.
Mm-hmm.
Not feeling very divergent. Honestly, though, I do like seeing the defense sword, because while we can't equip it yet, that was almost a sufficient weapon for Topher, with enough tempers and fasts thrown on. But better than that is I would toss it on the red mage and ruse up, and anything that happens from there, you have a little bit more safety to use life charges or whatever magic is available. Because the built-in
very
ribbon
true.
is very strong.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we can see here the power of that encounter manipulation is Rubes pulled back ahead. Anytime seated, effectively taken back up. And that is the strength of knowing the encounter table. And we get the key. So, Canaria Castle, very conveniently located. I would not necessarily... well, wait. Oh, we've already turned in Tian. Okay. So, not really looking forward to that particular bit, but it's an option.
Oh, these mummies are really giving Shocker the business here.
Yeah. At the same time, though, I don't necessarily mind that the red mage is getting a few more levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, already level 14. That's pretty good.
The red mage having the slower spell charge growth is a factor there. Like, I want to have more spell charges for the caster that I assume is going to be my endgame life caster. We've bought a small subdivision and an entire campground. And there is our floater.
Yeah.
So that opens up the world a fair bit. We can finally check the remainder of the item shops. We can easily head to Volcano, or if we were so inclined, Waterfall. Rube's heading straight to Volcano. Light Axe +5. Very, very good weapon.
Oh, that's a nice weapon.
I see a shard in the bad hairpin. We have warp. What's your take on it?
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Rube says no. Shocker is heading northward. That would indicate likely Cardia. Or we're checking for Underhill.
Have we seen the vendor item yet? I don't think.
We have not.
Remember now. Yeah. But
So,
Cardia, I think it's always dragons, right? It's always dragons in the Cardia boxes. That's a little rough at this stage.
It is, but at the same time, that's some tasty experience. If I'm in Shocker's position, I might actually, now that we know that the item was not these two stores, I would likely be resetting back to the airship and checking the desert grind. But I am not Shocker, so I just know that I want that desert grind ASAP if possible. That was an ice armor +5 for the fighter. Very nice armor. Question in chat, how's the first encounter off the hard reset? Fast! Very fast! Rubes has been using that to great advantage in the encounter manipulation, which is why I'm saying, dive for it.
Yeah, it does become an issue when to grind, with this shard boost.
I don't like seeing that Oxyale in the waterfall.
Oh, I missed that, but wow.
It's like
That's a
when
good
you
find
get
for Shocker.
the vanilla Earth incentive location rod, and you're just like, man.
Right?
I avoided coming here specifically for this. Alright, the cruel check. Is this the slab in the Gaia item shop? It's the bottle, okay.
How convenient.
The absolute worst is getting... okay, power bonk is useful. But the absolute worst is when you stop in Gaia and it's the slab, and you're like, well... chat calling out a Masa +4 and a ribbon on the side of Rubes in this room, which... That's
Wow.
mighty tasty. That fighter suddenly looking like the play, unless we see something egregious. But, you know, shoutouts to where's our important endgame magic, bruh? So I don't think either runner is check level 5. We did see Rubes check level 6, I think? Maybe? But in 1 through 4, we did not see Fast and we did not see Temper. And that's concerning. And there is our slab in the Agama room.
Well, if Fast and Temper are high levels, then you might have a case for the black belt on Shocker's side.
Yeah, the idea of getting enough levels on the Black Mage to have enough charges. Oh, hello, T-Rex. Ow.
Takes it down.
Yeah, this is an unfortunate case of we need the mages to stay up for right now, but this, once it starts, for real, it will be incredible.
Oh, is this the hard reset in this quadrant, T-Rex?
Yes.
That's fantastic. Wow.
I think that's a little earlier than I want the Black Mage down, but, I mean, we're so close. Like, I'd consider life wanting that Black Mage back up for 1 to 2 more fights. Meanwhile, Rubes has taken out Carrie, which not necessarily an easy fight, but with a Masa and effectively 2 ribbons and an ice armor plus 5. That's all looking real good for Rubes.
Oh, there's Fast at level 5, so...
Fast at level 5 is not so bad. Like, annoying menuing, but at least you'll get charges of it. Rubes now into the Cardia checks.
That T-Rex knows. Oh, it just keeps punching that poor black belt. I cursed it.
Yeah. I mean, we're almost to the point where I'm comfortable with it, and then that happens, right?
Yeah.
But
I know.
With level 21, we've gotten up to our hit break point. That's a lot better than where we were. There is the cube coming out of Cardia. As the kids say, Sky provides. Yeah, 6 hits, 373 feels a lot better than what we were doing before.
Oh yeah, it's starting to get momentum, huh? But looks like we found everything except the loot for the go mode, and plus the shards.
Yeah, so we have not seen the slab turn in yet. We have not seen Sky or Sea incentive. And I mean, in all likelihood, what we're going to see Rubes do is check slab, and if it's not something immediately interesting, just hard reset out of it and go into Sky, which completely makes sense. But we're also, I think potentially important, we're missing the tail. And we don't necessarily need the tail, but we don't know where temper is yet. Alright, the grind is for reals now. We're going to have to see something really, truly gross in Topher for me to feel comfortable with GoldenShocker's black belt play.
I know. I mean, I look at... Yeah. Yeah, that Masa find was huge, and Rubes is already in the level 20, I think. But, I mean... We always say Topher's the great equalizer,
Yeah, it's the great equalizer unless you've spent all your time on a low progressive scaling grind of a black belt. Oh, GoldenShocker walked out of his quadrant. There's temper at level 8 in Gaia. I think GoldenShocker might have been trying to test to see if there was a second encounter so that he could save on, like, tents.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And these ambush rates, all of the sudden...
Oh, back-to-back crits. Wow.
And not just that, but, like, ambush crit into regular crit. Like, you don't even get a little bit of a break there.
Yeah.
Jesus saying maybe put somebody else in slot 1. So, kind of the problem is the red mage should have more agility than the black mage. And the black belt is high enough level that the T-Rexes are going to run. And there is the loot from the slab. So, item go mode for Rubes at this point. We just need to get those shards, and really that's it. GoldenShocker opting to stop the grind. And head to C. Okay. So this makes sense if you're pulling the mages back up and you feel comfortable with your levels for endgame-ish. I mean, certainly we know where to go if we need them later.
Yeah, maybe just get some shards and then pick up a few T-Rexes later.
Question from Jesus about what level did GoldenShocker leave that black belt at? I think it was around 32. Which, it's tricky. It looks like we got a little bit of internet problems on Rube's side. Hey look, it's another light axe.
Wow, I didn't see a single shard box in the mermaid floor.
That also would indicate that the incentive item is in TFC, like actual TFC.
Yeah.
That is extremely rare, too. That's just not a thing that really happens. Like, there's got to be a shard in mermaids, right? Right? Oh! Right. If it's equipment, it's not going to be trapped. So it was something that GoldenShocker really didn't care about in the first place, because we didn't see
Oh, right.
Oh, defense? No, defense came from Sarda. Oh, Excal. Okay. All right. Opal +2. It's not bad, but it's not worth promoting for versus the Ice +5. And Rube's going to continue the charge up into Sky, looking for shards. Bad men have a little bit of thickness to them. All right, GoldenShocker coming up onto Kraken, looking to claim those 4 shards.
Shocker has the defense sword also, I think.
Yes, and that should
I
help.
hope.
That should help, but stopping at 32 may mean that the MDef isn't there to stop any potential inks, which, that's a little worrisome. Also, when you only hit 3 times, that's very worrisome.
Yeah.
There is, in fact, that darkness landing on the black belt, who now has basically no chance to hit. So fast is level 5, and I don't think GoldenShocker stopped in the magic shop, to answer the question in chat. The red mage pulls it out with the lit 3.
At the lit 3, wow. That was a little scary.
Yeah, who likes certainty in your fiend fights? Rubes onto the maze floor. Hi, Warmack.
I was just gonna ask if it's a patrolling Warmack, but yep, answers that.
Patrolling Warmack is my favorite Warmack, but my least favorite Warmack is vanilla script Warmack. This is a close second for terrible encounters. Please leave. Please let me go. Oh
Oh
god.
no. Oh no, it's not gonna kill a single one. Oh, turn order. Phew.
And it does get them all.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, but this Mudgoal could still punch him out. Having to rely on heal 3 for the single target healing power. And then life the fighter so we can Masa. Oh. Okay.
Wow.
Rubes survives
Wow.
on the knife's edge. And you can tell just how draining that was because the red mage is out of lit 3 and has like 1 charge left of level 2 magic. And Rubes is holding on to that for dear life because this Tiamat is going to have damage. Alright, we got a fast, we got a defense. That is 2 hits for negligible, which is the best. We have 1 lock, now we have a lock 2, which is convenient because that's also the second lock. Test swing. 10 hits, 439. It could get there. Here comes that damage. 8 hits, 620. Okay. Moving in the right direction. 10 hits, 705. Down goes Tia. Sigh of relief on Rubes' side, I'm sure, as there were no possible encounters on the way back. And it's House O'Clock. By the way, maybe restock on your housing. 3 cabins left in reserve. But the tail appears to have been grabbed in Sky, which is going to be that promotion that Rubes probably wanted. Again, I don't know how much is needed, but wanted for sure.
Yeah. What's the benefit of promotion at this point?
Probably... Okay. Switching to the Opal Shield I got. But the Opal Armor, I think, +2 versus a +5 ice is, like, negligible? Like, ice +5 is a very good armor.
Yes, it is. Maybe, I wonder the promotion, if he finds the X-Cal to give the Masa to the red mage.
I
The
guess
loot was it the slab turn-in? I forget now.
Yes, the loot was the slab turn-in, and the slab came from the Agama floor. The Agama room, even. So that is still on GoldenShocker's plate to have to deal with. What we're really going to have to see is just how rude does Topher end up being. Alright, Rube's about to find the very rude Oxyale. Which will be the full bingo board. And that was the last cabin.
Hacker's got to be pretty close on shards now. I at this point.
Yeah, one thing that I'm not understanding on Shocker's side is why open not marked boxes.
Yeah.
The black belt is our win condition. We know it. I'm sure Shocker knows it. But, I mean, also to a point made in chat, like, the grind is slow. It takes a lot of time. You have to make up that time somewhere else, and that somewhere else is usually boxed. And Rubes does appear to be hunting down that X-Cap. And another ribbon. Bubble Soda Company thanks you, Rubes, for your contribution to our cause.
Do we know where the X-Cal is at this point?
Apparently in the vanilla incentive room.
Oh, right. Yeah, Shocker skipped that.
Nothing marked. Not worth walking to. The vanilla incentive box.
Oh,
Either.
there
Huh.
it is.
Well, that's got to be an annoyance to Shocker, who just found the tail. Which means the search continues. We have not found a loot yet on Shocker's side, which means that Volcano leads there, and we will need to open even more boxes. What? So, I'm just going to say, Rubes, I hope you record it. Oh, we're back. I don't exactly know what happened there. Fine. It's all fine.
That was kind of interesting. Now, Saracen, did you enroll in this tournament this season?
I did not. The flags were not jiving for me, and at the same time, it's coming up on duck season, and you know that's a lot of work.
Oh, right.
When
Absolutely.
you are a duck don, it is a lot of work. At the risk of sounding unprepared, I haven't finished finalizing the boot camp, and that's like 6 weeks away.
Yeah, that's you do a lot with that. Anybody newer to the randomizer, maybe looking to get interested, that the Duckling boot camp is just such a great way to gain experience in this randomizer, and Saracen does just a ton of work. Really nice job with welcoming new players. So
You know, Luffy and I have
Check
been
it
running
out.
the program for like 2 years now. We're bringing on DM Stewart and Rax into the Duck team, and you know, there's a little bit of transition. There's a little bit of learning how to do the whole thing that's going on. So I'm excited to have them both coming in to help out with the Duck stuff. Maybe take it over time, and yeah, the boot camp is a fabulous time though. We go over lots of stuff. 6 action-packed weeks. All right, Rubes on to the inevitable nuke to the face. Very inevitable. You didn't want to hold on to those life charges anyway.
Can't take him to the next seed. Might as well use him.
Vaughn commenting on the menuing speed. Yeah! Rubes is very good at the menuing game. Carry 2 down very fast there with the quad X to really rub it in. All right.
I'm always amazed that. Oh, good.
Just saying, the black belt takes out Tiamat 1 and is now 37. And we're back. We're so back. Finish out the grind and go is the mentality, and I get it.
Yeah.
You were about to say.
I was just gonna say I'm always amazed that runners that can get the menuing speed on a joystick. I'm a keyboard player myself, and to do it on a joystick to me is impressive.
You know, I don't know whether Rubes' keyboard or controller. I'm a controller player myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there is, at the very least, a consistency element to the keyboard that you just can't really match. Oh, Rubes is controller. Okay. Yeah, the consistency of keyboard, like knowing exactly that, you know, I'm pressing this once and it's going to happen once, and it didn't just slide over to, you know, hit left instead of up or whatever. But, you know, the flip side is I play on controller because I want to have something other than keyboard and mouse, which, you know, is what I do all day for work and for several other games.
Yeah.
I try not to hurt myself with my hobby. Rubes on to chaos. We got a defense, we got a fast, we got a lock. More locks, more defense. Heal 3 coming out to take care of the chip damage, but we're also continuing the defense and the lock strats. Ice 3 comes out for some more chip damage. Soon it will be the time of swinging, but we have some power bonking to do first. Lit 3 for chip damage as well. This
I
chaos
like
would
the
have like no evasion left. Slow
slow
2 to the
two. This
red
is
mage
the
and
fighter.
Milkers. Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like the max evasion cap for the knight because of the vanilla. The vanilla stun touch can just ruin this.
The Cure 4 goes out to heal 0 damage, and then the nuke comes out. I like it. Rubes left the X-Cal on.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 hits, 1040 doesn't really matter a whole lot. We're fine. GoldenShocker has Slab, has, I think, all the shards needed. And that is terminated. Official racetime.gg time of 1:03:01 for Rubes taking game 2. That is a 2-0 for this bracket match.
Yeah, that was a very nice run by Rubes, the fighter knight paying off in the end.
GG Rubes, welcome to the booth.
GG, how's it going?
GG.
Well, this was exciting. I like seeing people bucking the black belt trends whenever it really comes out like this. What was the thought process on heck that black belt?
Well, it was immediately, give me an early fighter, give me an early fighter, give me an early fighter. But then we had that early encounter off the power cycle. I was like, well, I'll keep this in the back of my head just in case. And then provoke eyed the fighter is it just okay. I'm gonna get this black belt down as soon as I can.
Yeah, GoldenShocker actually found out that the southwest quadrant of the desert was first encounter T-Rex, but
Ooh, nice.
little slow to get it off the ground, and perhaps took it a bit too early for the shard count.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the difficulties with black belts in these seeds versus in prior tournaments, not last year, but in other ones, the scaling was usually tied to key items and such, right? And so it's usually you get about half or 2/3 of your key items are good to go for a grind, but here sometimes it's hard to get the shards with the black belt carry unless you're already leveled.
Right. GoldenShocker just taking out Lich 2, eats the nuke to the face. Everybody lives, but still. That red mage actually level 29 on Shocker's side, which pretty high.
Nice.
Harry lives through the punch from a 42 black belt. But there goes. Second time around. So, how about that amazing room on the Agama floor? Did you feel a little bit more confident in life once you found everything there?
A little bit. I was debating if I was going to go after carry one. I hadn't decided. I mean, what the Masa made a decision for me, and there was a ribbon, right? Yeah, that basically decided it for me. I was considering it, but I wasn't 100% sold. I was like, I need at least some sort of weapon. If I had probably at least like a mid-range weapon that rolled up, I probably would have tried it.
Yeah, I follow you on that. And really, the Lich dodge, which both of you did, made sense, but it made a lot more sense with the information Shocker had, which was very scary bulls.
Oh, yikes.
I believe it was damage poison is what Ravioli caught.
Yeah, damage poison. Pretty
That's
nasty.
rough.
Yeah, so that was a wipe that Shocker took. But realistically, you were ahead for quite a bit until Sorcerers.
They've been the bane of my existence these last couple seeds. They just both in game 1 and game 2 they were guarding the key item. I got a little greedy. I was like, "Oh, I'll open another Xbox. I'm sure it's going to be Argoyles or mummies or something." And it wasn't, and then I wiped and I just smacked my forehead.
You know, it felt bad, but like realistically, from a time perspective, your management of encounter manipulation throughout the seed was a huge time save. You pulled ahead after having fallen behind from the 2 wipes, but Shocker had only like gotten maybe like 10-15 seconds ahead of you, and that was gone basically by the time that item was turned in. Like, you got to turn in the herb, I think, before Shocker did, and it was largely just on like a random encounter here or there that Shocker ran from, and you had avoided with the encounter.
Mm-hmm.
And that played out throughout the entire seed.
Yeah, I mean those are pretty good sail off the hard reset, but whereas on the land it was a pretty immediate first encounter. So I just tried to, utilize as best I could. But GG GoldenShocker.
Yeah, GG Shocker. Chaos down, and the official racetime.gg time for that 1 hour 8 minutes 33 seconds. We'll see if Shocker wants to join in here as well.
Well, GG Rubes and GG to Shocker, and it's a great race to watch. Saracen, if you don't mind, I'm gonna bounce. It's great chatting with you.
Yeah, good hanging with you, Ravioli.
Yeah, thanks
Glad
for doing
to have
comms.
you join last minute.
Oh, my pleasure. Have a great night, everybody.
All right, just trying to get Shocker in for interview as well. And there we have him. GG GoldenShocker.
GG Shocker.
Appreciate it. That was a seed.
It was better than the other night, right?
Low bar to clear.
Better than the other seed Danny rolled earlier tonight. Anyone who didn't watch that, please go watch that.
Game 2
was it Mecklin versus Fellison?
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It was exquisitely cruel, from what I understand. I only got to catch part of it. So, Shocker, you leaned into the black belt. What was your thought process on that?
Honestly, I don't know if there's a specific thought process. It was just what I had, so I kind of just went with what was presented to me. I mean, I figured I could make the most of it. I got lucky that the grind fight I found was reasonable. Maybe I did that a little too early, but still, I mean, it worked out reasonably well.
Yeah, it's always a hard balancing act of how much progressive XP do I want to get before taking the grind versus the old saw of he who grinds first wins. So I think the strategy that you took generally of get enough levels to feel comfortable moving on was good. The time ramping to get that T-Rex was, I think, the hard part. What was the thought process as you were getting into the grind and, when you wanted mages to go down?
I mean, I was just trying to get the fights done. Because I was only, level 14 or something? Like, I needed to take a few fights just to, like, have a chance to take that grind fight with my black belt, so I was kind of okay with the way that I approached it. I mean, maybe I just didn't feel like I was going to be able to get through that fight until I got to like 21 or so, and then after that, I think it was smoother sailing.
I'm with you on that. So you had the bulls show you the business in Earth. Was that a deterrent for the volcano play overall, or was that not much of a factor once you left Earth?
I mean, that's why I didn't check the bottom left room in the fourth floor, and I just warped out immediately because I wasn't gonna take the risk of wiping down there. No, not doing volcano was more just the way the key items kind of led me. So I was just thinking, well, I might as well follow that chain to the end. I mean, it was a little bit of a risk to not do volcano, but I was, once I found floater, maybe I should have went to volcano instantly from there, just to see if I could get a few shards, especially before I set up the grind. Like, thinking about it as I was grinding, I was like, that's probably the right play, but at that point, I'd already kind of committed, so I just tried to hope that volcano wasn't the answer, and ultimately it was. So I can't do much about that.
Yeah, it's always funny to find that moment of, man, I messed this up while you're in the process of something you've committed to, and it's the inability to reverse course at that point, because you would lose more by doing so.
Yeah, I mean,
follow that.
Rando's gonna rando. I don't feel all that bad about how I played. I mean, for me, that was a pretty good time. So, I mean, I don't feel too bad about how I played. I mean, I didn't really have high expectations of beating Rubes at all. So, just coming in and being relatively competitive in both games, I'm pretty happy with that result.
Yeah, I think you did very well in terms of your performance here tonight. It was competitive, and sometimes you just get into a matchup where you don't feel like you have those odds. But I think you showed a lot of skill and heart in the play here. So
I appreciate it.
I think that's about it for my questions here. So I think we can roll around to our final thoughts. We'll start with you, Rubes.
Well, again, GG GoldenShocker. You're racing pretty well. I mean, if anyone who can get under a 110, I think is doing pretty well, especially if you haven't been doing it that long. If you decide to do the last chance qualifiers, I wish you luck in those. And it was good, couple cool races we had. I look forward to getting destroyed by the Queen of FFR next week. So, but in the meantime, I'll just sit here and enjoy that I didn't have to face her tonight.
She was watching.
I saw.
So yes, you will be in the next round of the brackets going up against Crab Cakes. That's an exciting matchup. Intimidating, yes.
Yeah. She's one of the best ever to do this, so it's I got my work cut out for me for sure.
Absolutely. Shocker, your final thoughts.
I mean, same here. I mean, GG's to Rubes, obviously. Best of luck moving on. Appreciate everybody on the Restream team. As usual, I always enjoy being on Restreams. mean, I guess we'll see what happens from here, but I guess I'll just go back to scaring all the people in Final Fantasy VI.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this race. I thought it was pretty fantastic. I had a good time doing the comms with Ravioli, who has already had to head out for the night. Also want to shout out Mecklin89, our restreamer, and Salita, who was doing the tracking tonight. Very much appreciate it. If you like what you saw and you're not yet part of the community, head on over to the Discord. You can see the link in the chat already. And come hang out with us. You give yourself the spectator role, you'll be able to get alerts for any upcoming races. Usually give you about 45 minutes warning before the broadcast goes. If you're interested in learning how to play this game, first off, we've got a big wiki that tells you everything you need to know. We've got it very well documented. But also the Duck Boot Camp coming up right after the winter tournament. That is 6 weeks of teaching y'all how to play from champs to new players. We're giving you all the lessons. We're going to teach you how to beat us. That's just how it is. So I run the program with Luffy and new to the team Rax and DM Stewart. We're getting everything cooking up. That's going to be starting the week of March 23rd. So if you're interested in learning how to play, that is an excellent place to start. I think a lot of people have gone through the Duck program that are still in the community today and in the winter tournament currently. And I don't think anybody could say anything bad about the program. So I hope you'll join us for that. We've got action-packed stuff lined up for that, including our Platy Party, which is where some of our more experienced runners show off, strut their stuff, and teach you a little bit more about the rando there. So with that, Jesus the Frog saying that the only bad thing is he can't do it again. You did so good, though. Anyway, with that, it has been quite a while that I've been yapping. I appreciate you all. Thank you for coming out. Thank you to our racers, Rubes and GoldenShocker, for putting on such a great show. And we will see you all in the next one, which is about to happen via raid.